Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. When MUTURI was called incompetent, Kenyans were shocked by that kind of reference, considering that they know that Justin MUTURI has served in several capacities, including, opposition chief whip, and he has served as a speaker, and served as Attorney General, now a public service, CS. How could he be incompetent after serving in all those capacities? In fact, as a speaker, he served in 2 terms, making it 10 years. But Justin MUTURI could not let that statement go without him responding to it. So there's something MUTURI said here. This is a response. Most likely he was trying to, I could call this a lecture, or trying to, make RUTO understand about certain policies, which maybe RUTO did not take into consideration when he called him incompetent. So I want to take you through a reaction. There's something here posting from Justin MUTURI. But before I do that, kindly support this channel by liking. Also support this channel by subscribing. And to those who supported us before, thank you so much for your support, because without you, this channel wouldn't have grown. Now, this is what MUTURI says. Under the Waqf Act number 8 of 2022, there is no provision for a Muslim endowment fund. It must be understood that a Waqf is a religious, charitable, or benevolent endowment made by a person who professes the Muslim faith and is managed by the Waqf Commission. Remember, the biggest concern was that when RUTO talked about Waqf enactment, and the Muslim community have been agitating to have it implemented, RUTO realized that the best person to apportion this blame to is not himself, but MUTURI, because he says MUTURI was the AG then. Then he's the person who's supposed to look at these implementations of laws. So the big question, I know there are so many people still don't understand this Waqf thing. I also don't have enough information about it, but our Muslim viewers here, ladies and gentlemen, just tell us whether you think this Waqf thing was supposed to be implemented by the Attorney General, or is it the President who's supposed to push it? Who is supposed to do it? Or we could say that maybe RUTO was referring to a scenario where MUTURI was supposed to advise him about this Waqf thing. So just tell us below on the comment section. Now, let's get back to this response from MUTURI. Of all the ministers, at the time MUTURI was releasing this statement, I think he had not been fired. So one of the biggest reasons why RUTO could have fired MUTURI, I suspect, is because aliona kama MUTURI ni kama hamheshimu anymore. Because the fact that he went to an extent of saying this kind of statement, whether it's true, because again, MUTURI is trying to defend himself, because being called incompetent, hiyo ni kama umetukanwa sana. Incompetent, you of all the credentials you have, you can't perform. Hauwezi kazi. Wewe ni mtu tu kuzembea kazini. You are a ghost worker. You can't deliver. I mean, those are the street terms I could use to refer to incompetent. There was no way MUTURI was going to keep quiet after being referred to mtu ambaye hawezi kazi. Hawezi fanya kazi kabisa, ni lazy, very lazy, very lazy in thinking. Maybe William Ruto is right that MUTURI was the one who was supposed to, push this legal implementation. But what if MUTURI comes out and says that he didn't get the support he needed? Because you see, at the time the cabinet was being dissolved last year after the Gen Z's demonstration, there was a lot of talk. So many people are doing, TV interviews, some on the media, street interviews. These people would say that the style of William Ruto in terms of management was that he was micromanaging those institutions. So could we say that Justin MUTURI didn't have the necessary support from his boss? Is that the case? So that because of that reason, he could not, deliver. But MUTURI again is telling us that this is not something under his docket. But I think he's the person who's supposed to advise William Ruto. So either way, I think hapa kuna mtu ambaye anatuambia ukweli. It's either Ruto has a strong point that MUTURI hakumadvise labda, ama MUTURI has a strong point that hii kitu ilikuwa sio yeye mwenyewe afanye, labda yeye alikuwa ni ifanywe na maybe mwingine hapo, lakini sasa yeye hawezi fanya. Back then we had a ministry, justice, I think, and justice and legal affairs. I remember during Mwai Kibaki's time, that docket was held by Martha Karua until she resigned. That docket was again held by, I think, Eugene Wamalwa. Yeah, Eugene Wamalwa alikuwa pia kwa hiyo position, legal, justice and legal affairs. I think hiyo ndio ingekuwa mandated kuimplement hii Waqf. I just suspect, because easy legal implementations ingekuwa under your cabinet. So kama your cabinet was not taken into consideration during Uhuru na Sai Ruto time, most likely the person is supposed to handle this matter ni Attorney General, because yeye anadeal na legal matters. Legal, yani yeye kama ndio lawyer wa serikali, advocate wa serikali. So I think yeye ndiye alikuwa faa deal na hii issue ya Waqf. My little understanding inaniambia hivyo. I don't know about you, but I hope our fellow Muslims are going to react there below. But one thing that we must all agree on is that this statement about Waqf implementation embarrassed MUTURI. It is an embarrassment to MUTURI, and it has already made Muslims look at him as someone who alikuwa anakanyagia hii implementation. So because of that reason, the relationship between him and the Muslims itakuwa kidogo iko chini kidogo. So this is a strategy by the president to win all the Muslims kwake, sema kwamba sio mimi ni yeye sasa, lakini nimechagua mtu ambaye atafanya hiyo kazi. So someone else would argue it differently, that the president, if you knew that there was Waqf that needed implementation, why didn't you remind your the Attorney General that, look here, there's something pending that you must address urgently? So people will argue differently. There is going to be different argument matters this Waqf Act number 8 of 2022. And based on that number, it seems this is not something that was enacted recently. Ni kitu ya 2022 huko. So it has delayed. 2023, 24, now 25. It has delayed. But let's just give it time, now that we are told that the current AG is very incompetent. The current AG is very competent. So let's see if in few months' time this is going to be implemented, because the incompetent one has been fired, in fact was fired. So the competent one took over and is supposed to implement this Waqf. So ladies and gentlemen, just go below the comment section. You can offer your reaction to this growing debate. So until we catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.